Hi there, I'm Dr. William Pleau with Health Touch Chiropractic, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about a book I've been reading called The Plant Paradox by Stephen Gundry. Dr. Gundry is a cardiac surgeon, and he also has a functional medicine practice, and he wrote this very interesting book. A lot of people have been asking me about it, so I thought it would be useful to do a little bit of a video book report of sorts. So the plant paradox, really the core of the message there is about these proteins that plants produce called lectins. And lectins are part of how plants protect themselves against would-be predators. Creatures want to eat them, they produce these lectins that can either harm or harm those creatures in some way. Now, as plants has evolved, the animals that eat them have evolved, and the microbes in the guts of those animals have evolved in order to break down those lectins so the animals can eat them without harm to them. Now, the premise of this book basically is that when we changed about 25,000 or so years ago, we kind of changed from a strictly hunter-gatherer type society to an agrarian society. We found plants that we could store to help us live through the winter, right? When food was scarce. That's when we started eating grains. So, according to Dr. Gundry, these are the plants that are harmful for us. The lectins in grains and beans, primarily, as well as lots of other foods, those lectins are harmful for us. And basically what they do is they cause damage to the tight junctions between the epithelial cells in our gut. Basically, what they're causing a leaky gut syndrome. So he has a whole diet program in the book, a big long list of foods to eat and a big long list of foods to avoid. And the foods to avoid, unfortunately, are the foods that make up so much of the staple foods of our standard American diet. Grains, not just wheat and gluten, but all grains, he says, are harmful for us. We don't have the right microbes in our gut to break those down. Grains, including wheat and corn, and wheat and corn is in kind of everything. Soy is another thing he says is problematic, and all of the nightshade vegetables, tomatoes, eggplants, peppers, those kinds of things. So the plant paradox, I haven't had the time yet to really chase down all of his resources, but he does cite a lot of resources. Some of them are web citations, a lot of them are peer-reviewed research articles. And there's definitely some controversy around the concepts that he puts out in this book, and there are people who've criticized him. My experience so far is when I stick to the plan and when I follow the diet that he recommends, I feel better. My inflammation is down, my pain is down, my physical activities are easier, and I'm losing weight. And that's been the experience of other people I know as well. And I know of cases of, for example, severe chronic debilitating headaches that are virtually gone when the patient follows the plant paradox diet recommendations. The downside of it is that it is a challenging diet to follow. It really is. If you like to eat the standard American diet, if you like to eat out at restaurants, then you're going to have a hard time with a diet like this. So the way I see it is, the research, when you look into the research and you ask the question, is this information valid? That's always a debatable question because you're going to find research that supports both sides of that. It's always a matter of who's interpreting that research and what is that person's bias, because we always interpret things based on our own biases. I'd say if you're interested, try it. If you've got significant symptoms, significant medical problems that are not responding to other things, try it. He's got a lot of really inspiring case studies, but I understand lots of books will do that as well. The research says this, the research says that, and the researchers can argue till the cows come home. Try it, and if it works for you, do it. And if it doesn't work for you, then you try something else. Yeah. So those are my thoughts regarding the plant paradox by Stephen Gundry. And thanks for your time.